good people? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm cebilethemba and this is Becoming, a place where we come together, share life stories, share all things life journey. So today I'm not alone. I have the amazing Princess Mabuza, also known as Portia. Welcome to our channel.
Thank you so much, Cebile. Thank you, viewers. My name is Princess Mbalenhle, but better known as Portia. I don't know how the name came about, but there are so many great Portias that I know, so I decided, you know what, let me just run with the name because, you know, a name carries so much.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me. I hope this is going to be a very fruitful session.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to sharing some ideas, some life experiences with you, as well as the viewers. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Okay, I think let us just take it back to baby little Portia, like your upbringing from where you were braided and where you grew up and all that.
Okay, Portia, I was born and bred here, Kamhlushwa, Kaslamakasi.
Yeah.
So I was born and bred here at Kamhlushwa, and growing up I was a very bubbly baby. I think I still am.
Yeah, you are.
So those who know me very well, they can tell you I'm always laughing. So it's very hard to tell if I'm not okay. But those who know me very well, they can tell that no one, this one, she's just laughing, but there's something that's happening. So I grew up as a very bubbly baby. I was very active. At school, I used to participate in almost everything except for sports. I'm not a sports person, so arts, singing and everything. Well, I love singing. I sing when I'm happy. I sing when I'm sad. So I did almost everything at school. So I participated in almost everything that was taking place because I'm just as active like that. So growing up, it was not easy when it comes to family, because I was raised by a single parent, and most of the time she was away at school working, trying to make life a bit better for us. So I was raised by my grandmothers. I say mothers because my grandfather had two wives. Unfortunately, one of them is late. May her soul continue to rest in peace. So my uncles and my aunts, they were always around me. So we did struggle here and there, but then I wouldn't call it struggles because I am where I am today because of those life experiences. So my childhood, it was bittersweet in a way because some of the things that I wish I could have that other kids had, I didn't have that opportunity to have. But then I am thankful for my family because they tried by all means, that the little that they could afford, we had. Hence, I am where I am today because of them, and I'm so grateful because I believe that some of the experiences that God allows us to go through, it's because there are things that He tries or He wants to teach us. Because if you have everything on a silver platter, I mean, some of the things you take for granted, you know. So I am very much grateful for the childhood that I have, and I am a proud mother of two beautiful girls. So but I try by all means that the valuable lessons that I was taught, I pass it down to them, because one day they are also going to be parents, they are also going to be moms. So there are things that they need to teach their kids. So I make sure that the valuable lessons that my grannies and my aunts and my uncles taught me, I also pass it down to them. So yeah, my childhood, I have no regrets. I have no regrets. I had a blissful childhood. So I was a very happy child. I'm still a happy child. I mean, you can see. So, yes, I'm as bubbly as that.
Yeah,
I'm as bubbly as that.
Like,
so yeah,
you've always been a bubbly person.
That's me. That's me in a nutshell.
So I think we'll go back like to her upbringing, because I think she is the woman that she is today, all because of the things that she has experienced or whatsoever that is that she was taught, like as she was growing, and the experiences that she went through. So let us take it to high school. Like, okay, when you were doing high school, how did you go about choosing the career that you chose and all that? Did you want to do it, or you just happened to do whatsoever that is that you chose to do, the career that you went for?
Okay, when I got to high school, the bubbliness was still there. I think it will remain with me until the day God calls me home. So when I got to high school, I think most of the the challenges that we go through, it's because some of the things we lack knowledge. So when I got to high school, the only thing that was on my mind was science. That's all that I wanted to do. So okay, growing up at first, you know, as a child, you'll have so many career options, but with little information as to what that career means, what do you do, the type of personality that you need to have. Because I believe that if, let's say for example, there was a point where I wanted to be a lawyer. Okay, we all know lawyers, they talk too much. So I think that box was already ticked. Yeah. But the thing is, having to defend someone else, no, I'm not a defensive person. So that's how the career for being a lawyer got shifted. So when I got to high school, I wanted to be a physicist. And I didn't know what a physicist does. I was just fascinated by the name. I was not even sure what it means. But then I went with the science stream. I did my science subjects. I was good. Yeah. I was excelling. So I didn't struggle as much when it comes to my academics, because I'm a hard worker. I work hard, no doubt about that. So when it comes to studying, I don't just study because I have an exam tomorrow or I have a test tomorrow. So I just study for me to refresh and to know, you know, to always be up ahead. So when I got to high school, yes, I took the science stream. I was good. I did everything that was supposed to be done. But then growing up, I realized that all the things that I wanted to do as a high school learner, really, I didn't love those things. I'm not a science person, to be honest with you. I only got to discover that at a later stage when I got to university. Because when I got to university, I went the business stream. So all those science, whatever that I did at high school, so in a way it had to be shifted. So right now as we speak, I'm self-employed. I have a baking business. So my advice for someone who's in high school right now, maybe you are in grade 8, grade 10 or grade 11. By the time you're in grade 11, you should know exactly what it is that you want to do. Because the thing is, peer pressure, that one, it always takes the lead. Peer pressure and lack of information. I believe that now that I am a mother, I believe that it is my duty to sort of like notice my kids, because you know, when they are playing, there are things that they will do. If let's say maybe your daughter or your son, you notice that no, he or she likes to take care of people, so you know that whatever career that they are going to take should lead to helping people. So whatever that they do, channel them through that, because you can never choose a career that doesn't align with your personality. Hence I said the lawyer career had to be shifted, because as talkative as I am, I'm not good in defending people. I'm not good in fighting with words. So so I had to let that go, because I couldn't continue with something just because the idea was there, because this thing is going to be stuck with me for the rest of my life. We know a lot of people who are doing careers or who are working and they're not passionate about what they are doing. Yes, it's true, they might be doing it for the money, because we can't live without money. But then you need to be passionate about whatever that you're doing. If we had to take the money away, are you still going to do what you're doing? Are you still going to be the nurse that you are? Are you still going to be the lawyer that you are? Are you still going to be the social worker that you are? We have to take the money away. So yes, at high school I did science, but then when I got to varsity, I realized that no, science was not for me. I'm more of a business person. I'm always thinking about money.
Always.
So that's how my high school was in a nutshell. So it's very important that when you are in high school, to the viewers out there who are watching, because I believe that this session, it's meant to educate, it's meant to share my experiences, but it doesn't necessarily mean that what I went through, someone else will go through. But should you find yourself in that particular space, you know that no man, this is what I need to do. Do a self-introspection first. Know what you're good at, know what you love, then do subjects or take whatever career that's aligned with those things. So that's my advice to someone who's in high school, who's watching, or to a parent who has a child who is in high school, who is watching right now. So that's my advice to you. Don't choose a career for your child, because at the end of the day, he or she is the one who's going to hold that needle and treat people. So let them choose their career for themselves. All you can do is advise as a parent. Yes, advise and offer guidance. Exactly, offer information as much as you can and allow them to become. Yes, allow them to become. That's how my high school life was.
Okay, so I know you went to corporate before you went to be an entrepreneur. So how was like the transition? Like, okay, what led you to just quit corporate? Like, was it a thing that you decided you just want to do, or was it like because of other things that, like other factors and things that pushed you to do that?
Oh, okay. Life has so many challenges that you never foresee. Okay, so for me, when you graduate, the first thing that's on your mind is getting that job, getting that corner office, driving your car, having your apartment. I was always telling my friends before we left varsity that by this age I want to have this and that. By this age I want to have this and that. So you can imagine the dreams that I had. So okay, God being faithful, I managed to get an internship. I did an internship for, I think it was almost 2 years or so. Then from there, I got a job elsewhere. It was a company in Free State, I won't mention. So it was okay. The salary was fine. It was fine. I could survive. I could support my kid. So at the time, I only had one child. So it was fine. It was okay. But then it just wasn't in me. The thing is, I'm not saying I'm not submissive. No, at some point I'm going to be someone's wife, so I can submit, but then I want to submit under an authority that allows me. You understand? Because being an employee doesn't mean that when you are a manager, when I come to you and say, but say, ma'am, why don't we do this and that and that? Because at the end of the day, I am the one who interacts with customers on a daily basis. So the reason why I ended up leaving the corporate and going into doing my own thing was just that I'm one person who I want to be in a space whereby I am allowed to grow. Where I'm allowed to share ideas, where I'm allowed to voice out my opinion. Obviously it has to be something that's aligned with the company's objectives and all that, but then I don't want to be in a space whereby someone shuts me out. I don't want to be in that space. So due to company politics and other matters that I won't say because they are very personal, so I ended up leaving the corporate world and starting my own thing. So it was scary. I don't want to lie. I don't, because some other days I would wake up and think, did I make the right decision? Did my resignation, did I do the right thing? What was I thinking? So that fear, but then I said, you know what, come what may, I'm going on. I'm moving forward, because there are other people who are behind me. There are others who are watching me. I have a younger sister. She's looking up to me, though she won't say that I'm watching you, but then whatever that I'm doing, she's watching, she's learning. So as fearful as I was, I had to move forward. Yes, I had to take that leap of faith to say, excuse me, you know what, if someone else could do it, I can do it. Because if you can listen to a lot of successful business people, their stories, some they will tell you that, I listen to Steve Harvey a lot. He will tell you that for 3 years or so, he used to sleep in his car, but the dream was always there. So even me, I would even say when I was still in high school, that one day at some point I'm going to quit the corporate world and all that, and go start my own thing. Because at the end of the day, I want to leave a legacy for my children. Yes, I can work, I can be a CEO and all that, but should I die, or should I resign, or should I go on pension, my child is not going to inherit that CEO position. But then when I start a business, I teach them how the business runs, how the business operates. One day they are going to take over. So at the back of my mind, as much as I was still working for someone else and trying to gather the experience, that was always there. That was always reminding me that at some point you have to quit this and do your own thing. So God decided it was time, way before I even thought, because I thought maybe when I was 40 or something like that, but it came earlier. I'm 29 and I'm 29, so yeah, I think our timing and God's timing, it's
not the
totally
same,
different. It's not
different.
the same. But when He says it's time, allow Him
Yeah.
to make you to become whatever that He wants you to become.
become.
So yes, it was scary, but then I had to take that leap of faith. So I had to go with the flow, if I can put it like that. It's still hard, but it's still hard. I don't want to lie. I don't, because the thing is, when business people, when they give speeches at seminars and all that, some, they won't tell you the blood, the sweat, the hard work, the sleepless nights, that they had to put in. They will just tell you, okay, yeah, starting a business, it's hard work and all that, but they don't go into depth as to how hard. Some, they lose their family, some they lose their friends, because when you have a dream, others don't see what you see.
Other people don't understand.
Exactly. So when you tell them, they're like, no, it's not going to work. Who did it in the family and was successful?
It's
all
your
those
vision.
Exactly.
It's not theirs.
I always say that when each and every one of us, when we are born, our fists, they are folded, because there are things that when we are born, God gives us. So each and every one of us, we have things that God gave us. So I believe that for me, this is what God gave me. So who am I to not take, I'd rather fail forward than to just sit and say, I know this is not going to work
for me.
Exactly. One day someone will be watching this video and say, you know what, this lady, if she could do it, so can I.
Yeah.
Yes. So
try
that's
exactly. Try and see what it happens.
Thank you.
Just try.
Yes,
give it a try.
rather than to just sit and say, no, this is scary. You'll never know until
you do it.
Nothing comes easy. Even if you have to wake up and go to work, there are challenges at work. So whether you're starting your own business, whether you are working for someone else, it's not easy. Life on its own, it's not easy.
You actually choose your heart. That's the thing.
Exactly.
You just happen to choose, like, what is it that you're going to go through. Like your heart, which
heart
do you choose?
That's very
like,
true.
Do you choose to sit down? Still, it's hard. Even if you're just sitting, laying around, it's hard because life is life.
Exactly. You need money.
Yeah.
we can't deny that fact. We need money.
Yeah.
We need money to move around. We need money to breathe. As people would say, breathing on its own. You need money. Exactly. So I'm one person. I'm one person who doesn't believe in always having to ask. I'd rather come to you and say, Tebile, I have 500 rand.
Yeah.
I need an extra 100 rand. You see, then you giving me that extra 100 rand because you see that I did something. I didn't just come to you and say, I need 500 rand. Okay, Portia, what do you have? I have nothing. But then when I come to you and say, this is what I have, can you please, you understand? It becomes so easy for you
me to help.
Exactly, for you to help because I have something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Starting off her business actually started in the bus. That's what I'll say because that's where actually the thing started. Like it just started there. So you started baking. Before baking, actually, you started selling like
sweets.
Sweets, the below zeros and everything. So when you told me that you want to do that, I sat down and I was like, okay, this girl, like, what's wrong with her? Like, I was interning at that time. She had a permanent job and okay, like now she wants to sell sweets in the bus. Like, why does she have to do this? And because I knew her upbringing, it came to me with okay, maybe this thing, it's something that was birthed in her, like something that she grew doing. So it's something that is in her now because you used to sell, like when you were young, growing up, you used to sell like for living by that time. So now you started like doing that in the bus and I was like, okay, if it was me permanent, I definitely wouldn't do that. I definitely wouldn't do that. Like I have the money and all that, but you started it as a side hustle, you know, and then you started selling in the bus. How was that experience, like having to swallow your pride and doing it like in the bus, knowing very well that on month end you do have a paycheck, knowing very well that you do have a paycheck, but then now you stand up epasini and sell sweets and all that. How was that experience?
I must say that that was the hardest. I had to, before we started, we were actually chatting about that experience. I had to, okay, I'm not a prideful person. I don't have pride because I know that even God doesn't want someone that's puffed up and someone that's prideful. So I had to swallow whatever little pride that I had because it's not easy. You know, Epasini, there's those who commune with a bus or public transport, they will know that they are potential, they are potential. So it's not easy, and most of the time it would be like abomakoko, those abomama who are a bit older who do this because we understand they are old, they are trying, it's a side hustle and all that. So for me, the reason why I did it, okay, I saw a need. There was a need because the lady who was selling there, before she could even get through to half of the bus, her things were already finished. So I was like, okay, how about I also, when she's done selling, then Mina, I will stand up and then continue where she left off. Then I thought to myself, that's direct competition. Let me rather go to another bus because there were two buses. Yeah, now she would sell in the first one, then I would take the second one. So okay, I started with just 2 packets of below zero, as some would call it. So I started with just 2 packets, and before I could even get to half of the bus, those things were already finished. Okay, to me, it didn't come across as, okay, I'm young, I'm beautiful. I like to think that. I didn't think, thank you. So I didn't want to allow that because financially, yes, I was working, yes, I was getting paid and all that, but salary, it's true. Salary, it's never enough. It's never enough. So for me, that was a side hustle because I didn't want to rely on his salary for the whole 30 days or whatever days of the month that are there. So I decided, let me just sell, those petty things, snacks, sweets and all those things. So the business grew. Then I was like, okay, since the snacks and the below zeros, it's for afternoon, how about in the morning? Because we would get in the bus around 5:10, 5:30, latest. So it was way early for someone to have breakfast. So I decided, what, I'm a food fanatic. I love food. I don't know why. Yes, I love food. So I decided, what, let me start baking so that, people would buy ama biscuits, then they would drink with tea or whatever, coffee at work. So I started with 1 bucket. Okay. I think my personality, it played a huge role because I would smile at everyone. So this other guy, he even approached me. As you know what, Pela, some guys, they are not buying because they are thirsty. No, it's a way of getting through to you because some, they want to try their chances. So it's fine. That worked for me because I knew that as much as I'm smiling, I'm chatty and I'm all that, it's helping. It's helping you. It's selling. It's helping me to sell. So there was one guy I remember. He would even tell me that, okay, when you buy extra 2 packets, I'll sell them for you. Yeah. You take the first batch of the bus, I'll take the second one. So it helped. I saw that no, this thing is working. I even forgot to go to at some point. I was fearful and what will people say? I think that's when I killed that what Bantu Bazotini syndrome. I don't suffer from that syndrome because I know that Bantu Bazotini, it doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't feed you. It doesn't. Those very same people that you are scared of, when you don't have money, they won't be there. Yes, some of them, they won't be there. Some of them, fine, maybe they are your friends, but I don't think your friends would go to that length and think you and badmouth you. So they would support you at whatever that you're doing. So I told myself that, what, as long as I know that this is working for me. As for Abantu Bazotini and all that, it has got nothing to do with me because I know what that money does. I know it helps me. I know it's not just for me. I have kids to support. You understand? So that's where Portia Streets was born because I started baking whilst I was still commuting with IPAS, and I could see that people are loving my things. So I would go to the internet, YouTube and all that, to watch different recipes, try different recipes. So that's how Portia Streets was born, and I thank God. and I thank the support that I received from those strangers, because it gave me pleasure that when someone buys, they would also come back and tell me how delicious those things were. So that's where the confidence came in, and I said to myself that, you know what, I'm going to do this. Even if it's a side hustle for now, I don't know where it's going to lead me, but I'm going to do it. And I'm happy I did it, because where I am right now, where I'm going, one day I'm going to come back here and say, guys, I'm opening my bakery, there's a grand opening, you know, but then you know where it started. So you don't have any excuse. Yes, you may be an orphan. I know we all have a story to tell. We all have experiences to share, but our experiences, they may differ, but the thing is, we all have a story to tell, and don't allow those experiences to stop you from achieving your dreams. Do you understand? So don't allow whatever that you're going through right now to stop you from where you want to go. So you can, if I did it, if I started a Basini, and one day I'm going to be opening a bakery, and when I share something like this, someone might not believe me. They might think, these people are exaggerating. But I thank God, because you are here, you were there when everything started. So it's not a lie. It's not a lie. If you have that dream, go for it. You don't have to. We were actually chatting before we started that other people, they want to wait until they have everything. Start with what you have. Start with what you have. Exactly. Start with what you have, and I'm telling you, you are going to receive the support that you need. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but the fact is, start.
Just start.
We are here to support. Start. Yes.
And I think on the starting part, starting doesn't mean that you just have to go big. It's also like the simple thing, having to do a research, having to just plan and get that idea. That's starting, because you're on the move. You're not sitting down, you're on the move. That's it. Like, it's just those things. You're just starting. I want to ask if you financially prepared for that transition of having to be on corporate, and then now when you're deciding that you live in corporate for a business, like, did you financially prepare for that, or you just went?
I was not. Truth be told, I was not financially prepared. I didn't have savings. I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. I had nothing. The only thing that I had was my faith. It was my plan. I remember when I was planning to hand in my resignation, I already had the name of the business that I wanted to do, because I was already baking, right? But then at the back of my mind, I was already seeing everything together. Financially, I had nothing. I truth be told, I had nothing. I didn't have any funding. I thank God for my brother. I won't mention his name. I thank God for my brother, because he made a contribution towards me actually focusing on the baking business. So I managed to buy a stove and some of the things that I needed. So that was the push that I needed. So some may not be lucky, some may not have that brother or that sister or that cousin who will say, here's 1,000 rand, go start. And even so, the money was not enough, but I just said to myself, he said to me, this is all I have. I said, I am going to use this that I have right now. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 thing started, but then I didn't stop. And before COVID-19 actually started, I was only baking your scones, your biscuits and all that. Then I took it upon myself to also learn how to bake cakes. And I'm telling you, from those who have tasted, not to say I'm promoting myself or anything like that, but really, if I don't promote myself, who's going to do it for me? So I'm very happy. I'm very happy that just last week I went for baking classes. So because it's good, and it's all good and well to be self-taught, but at some point you also need that extra knowledge. There are things there are skills and tips and whatever that you won't learn on YouTube, that you need to go sit in class and allow someone else to teach you. So financially, I was not prepared. To summarize it all, financially I was not prepared, but then I had to start with the little that I had. So I'm now echoing my point whereby we were saying, don't wait until you have everything figured out. The little that you have, all you need is the dream, all you need is the plan, the research, the market. That's all you need. So everything else will fall into place as you go along. We know of businesses that only started maybe selling sweets, for example. At a later stage, they started selling maybe ice creams. You grow as you go ahead. You understand? So financially, I was not prepared. But then I thank God, and I thank the people that were supporting me, and they are still supporting me even right now. Because there are times whereby, as strong as I appear to be, there are times whereby I just feel like throwing the towel and going back to working for someone else. But I thank those people, because they are my pillars. They always remind me, number one, remember where you started. Remember why you started. So you can't come all the way from selling at the bars and starting your own thing only for you to fail now. You've come so far, so you can't give up now. You can't give up now. So I'm happy I kept it going. It's still not easy, but then
because I want to ask, like, financially, how is it going now? If you were not prepared and went for business on its own, like, needs money and all that. So how are you doing now if you were not financially prepared?
Currently, at the moment, I won't say I'm not where I want to be. Let's put it like that. Until I have my bakeries, not just a baker, bakeries. Until I have branches, a Portia streets, then that's when I'll say I have made it. For now, I'm still trying to gather as much as I can. I'm still trying to gather as much skill as I can. But I thank my customers. I know some of you will watch this video, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because there are so many bakers out there. You can go anywhere else, but you always choose me, and I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. I am where I am today because of you. I always say, you are not just buying cakes, you're not just buying biscuits or whatever that you are ordering. You are supporting a dream, because I can't just stand up and spend hours behind the stove if there is no dream behind. So I'm doing this because there is a dream behind, and I thank God for you. I thank God that you are part of this dream. So financially, I'm not there yet. I am not there yet, but I'm pushing through. I'm pushing through, and I know that I will get there. Definitely I will get there. Even if I get there sweating blood and whatever, I will get there, because I always remind myself why I started, where I started.
Okay, that's nice.